Chip on your shoulder, sweat and dirt on your hands. Machines in slumber start to lumber outside. Head full of numbers, see the colors collide. Search safest sanctuary, dropping them dollars on you, thank you very much. By the way, no refunds, back into the boneyard, badlands we run. I saw a siren singing, shifting through the shots, a ringing, frying, burning, guts a stinging, bringing you the pain. Come on down and join the party tonight. We ain't the kind to turn away from a fight. Chips on the shoulder, sweat and dirt on our hands. 'Cause we're breaking down the borders as we light up the land, yeah.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to what I normally call my painting stream, but today I'm not going to be painting, I assume. I'm just going to be building a mini. It's not a very small mini, though. We talked about this yesterday. I am building Be'lakor, life-size. This is how big it's going to be when I'm done. I am not building this for myself, however. I am building this for ExtraLife. So if you go to our ExtraLife team page, and I will post it in chat now. Oops, nope, I'm not in the right window. There we go. Chatbot. Nope, apparently my chatbot is not working. Give me a sec. Anyhow, if you go to our ExtraLife team page, also available through the, there we go. Through the widget that is below my stream here, if you are watching this on Twitch or in the VOD. Thanks, Lobster. I think the bot, I'm booting the bot now, so we'll see if it works. It's taking its time booting up. Anyhow, if you go to the team page, you will note that this team has several folks who are members of it. One of those folks is Battleground Games. And if you go to that page, there are several incentives listed. There's a very cool Doctor Who scarf that you can donate to possibly win. There's the ever-popular Date with Derek. Here we go. There is... Let's try this again. There's a very cool poster. There! That's the link. There's a very cool poster that was provided by Wizards of the Coast as a promotional item, and we had colored in by local artist Kayla, and she did an astonishing job on that Call Time poster. It looks gorgeous. So that's available, and now I'm starting work on Be'lakor, who will be available for you to win and take home. The way it works is you make a $10 donation using the Be'lakor entry sort of tier. And if you do that, you are entered in to win. And then we will be doing a drawing at the end of our ExtraLife Marathon, which, as you can see right there, is in 32 days. I have 32 days to get this guy assembled and painted to the best of my ability. I'm excited. I'm so excited. So, yeah, ExtraLife is coming. Give me just a moment, chat. I was going to post into a couple of friends' Discords, just so folks know that I am live. Boop. So yesterday, we started work, and I got a little bit of a late start because I was struggling with getting this ExtraLife ticker to work. It's working now. I got it working this morning, so finally have that running. But yeah, I got a late start yesterday, and when I finally did get started, I only had an hour And so I spent most of yesterday constructing the base for Be'lakor. And let's pop over to Zoom Cam, and you folks can see it. This strange hunk of black here, this is the base that Be'lakor will be standing on when I am done constructing him. There you can see it's sort of a series of steps. Right now they look like they're carved in obsidian, but that's just because I haven't painted it yet. And I also built the vanquished foes that sit at Be'lakor's feet. So one of the things that this model has is at Be'lakor's feet on the steps here, you can optionally add a vanquished foe. So here, for example, is a 40k Space Marine. And what I did yesterday off stream is I magnetized them. I added magnets to them so that when placed in the correct place on the base, which is right here, there, it will stay on. Yeah, it works. Magnets. And the same for, there's a little pauldron. I don't know how accessible this is going to be because the pauldron rests here on the steps, sort of behind Be'lakor. So Be'lakor's feet go here and here. So he's going to be standing right over that. You can't see at that angle, but he's going to be standing here. I don't know if folks will be able to reach this to substitute it. I chose not to do the substitution on this piece here, which you can barely see. But there's a little pile of skulls there. In the 40k version, it has a pistol sticking out of it. Anyhow, I will hopefully be painting these up later this week. Here's the Ancient Sigmar, the fantasy one. Again, it's just a vanquished foe that snaps onto the step right there and just lies there at his feet. And you can see that the figure has these sort of flames coming up from it. That's going to be part of my paint scheme. I'm going to be working on making those match his sword and also match the rivulets that run down through the cracks in this. But we're not going to be painting today, so let's put that to one side. The objective I have set for myself for today is to finish building this fellow. So let's see how far we can get in the 2 hours that I have available to me. It's actually not that much, I say. I'm probably cursing myself. Basically, I have to build his legs. I have to build his arms. I have to build his head. His torso is only a couple of pieces. And then I have to build his wings. I'm going to keep the wings off the Mini for now, so that I can paint them without having to paint behind stuff. I'm also not going to glue. You see that the base has these little chains hanging on it. I'm not going to be gluing the chains onto the wings because I want to have full access to paint the wings without having to worry about painting around hanging chains, and then I'll add the chains after I've got the wings painted. That's my plan anyhow. So let's start. The wings are probably going to be the piece I spend the most time on with this model, because the wings have the most surface area and they present for me the most opportunities to do cool stuff. All right, so it looks like we're starting with his groinatological area, with pieces 21 and 22. He's got this hanging loincloth here, because you know how famous for being modest giant demons are. So let's grab those pieces. So I am running into a small problem, which is related to priming him. I want to prime him in black because that is my preference when priming. But the can of black primer we have at my workplace, I finished it off doing the base. So it is completely tapped out. The other piece I'm looking for is 21. There it is. I have a can of black primer here at home, so I will bring that to work. Hopefully it has enough paint remaining in the can to finish priming this guy. The problem is, black primer, for whatever reason, is currently very difficult to get a hold of. Games Workshop doesn't have any in stock, and I use Army Paint black primer, and our vendors that we get our Army Paint products from at the store also have no primer in stock. Well, none black. I've got white and I've got gray. But like I said, my preference is to paint in black. So that may be an issue. I have quite a lot of brush-on black primer, so if it comes to it, I could always paint him that way. I prefer not to. I said yesterday, and I'll reiterate, I am so happy to be working with a GW model after working on the Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff for the past couple of weeks. Just the seams are so much cleaner, and the plastic that GW uses is a higher quality plastic. Atomic Mass has done a spectacular job with the Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff. But these Games Workshop is just the gold standard, really. They have the best models. It's a pleasure to be working with GW again. I took a little bit more off there than I needed to. That's fine. Just a cut in his... his loincloth is kind of shredded, so it's okay if there's like an extra bit taken out there. Yeah, right? I could spray it in gray, or I could use my black brush on. It's a conundrum. This loincloth is going to be fun to paint, I think. I have to think of a good color scheme for it. It's probably going to be sort of like the GW recommended color scheme, which is sort of a dark purple. And he's got sort of a chainmail going on here, and some hooks, and a trio of skulls. There's a lot of great detail on this model. Obviously, when you're working in this scale, It's considerably larger than anything that I've built or painted before. Which is why I've given myself an entire month. I want to make this as spectacular as I'm capable of making it. Which, you know, I'm not the greatest painter in the universe, but I'm going to apply every lesson that I've learned in the last few months of painting on stream to make him as cool as I can. We're going to try some NMM, not as much as we did with Ultron because that never really worked. Going to do a lot of light sourcing on him because that's part of the idea. And then on the wings, I'm going to be trying a lot of sort of freehanding. So that's going to be interesting. I want to sand that down a little bit. This is down near his butt in the back, so it's not going to be super visible, but I kind of don't want a big lump there from where the sprue was attached. There we go. All right. Time for the first gluing of the day. So, how does this go? There we go. So, I think that these... Am I doing this upside down? No, this is right side up. Oh, I see. These two little bits here should go in those holes there. So, like that. Okay. Okay. So a reminder for anybody who has joined us, not only can you win this piece to add this to your collection and bring it to the table for some play, either in 40K or Age of Sigmar, because he's legal in both. But I have offered as incentives on my fundraising page for ExtraLife, which is, I said before, to donate to own Bellacore here, you want to go to the Battleground Games page when you click on the team link. If you go to my page, which is Thanatos, you can enter for a couple different incentives. You can just donate. You don't have to do an incentive. You can just donate. But if you donate, I need piece 24, which is his tail. If you donate using the $5 tier on my 5, 52, 24. If you donate at $5, you can, I'm going to draw 4 winners at the $5 tier from my fundraiser. And each of those 4 winners gets to provide me with a single mini, and I will paint it however you like. You get to choose the paint scheme, whereas, you know, this piece, obviously, I choose the paint scheme. You get to have me paint it however you like in the month of November. So next month, after the ExtraLife fundraising marathon, I'm going to select some winners, and I will paint minis for those winners. Basically, you get me the mini, you tell me the paint scheme, and then I paint it to fit your desired paint scheme. If you donate at the $10 tier, big money, you have a chance to have me paint an entire squad of up to 10 minis. Again, you get the minis to me, and you tell me how you want them painted, and I will be doing that painting on stream in December. So, yeah, if you like my painting, if you've enjoyed watching my streams, if you want some minis painted by me, this is your chance. Or if you just have some extra minis that you don't have time to paint yourself and you want to get them done. It doesn't have to be, Warhammer or Age of Sigmar or any war game. It could be minis for a board game. I know some of the folks at Battleground were talking about board games they have that have minis and they'd like to get them painted. So if you have a copy of Sagrada that you want the pieces painted for, you could donate at that tier to have me paint them. So, yeah. Hopefully raise some money for the Children's Miracle Network. In particular, donations to our team are going to Boston Children's Hospital. Alright, so where is this going? This goes on the back here, obviously. It's his tail. And okay. Have to leave room for his legs. It goes on like that. Okay. So let's get that in there. Too much glue. I'm trying not to leave a lot of glue on the surface of this mini. Now this is just a case of patience. Hold it in place for a little while. You know what I forgot to do, chat? Again, I forgot to open the window. So when I was magnetizing the base, it was such a mess. Obviously, well, maybe not obviously to you, but I realized that because I was gluing magnets in, and they're metallic, obviously, plastic glue is not going to do the trick. So I used Zap-A-Gap, and the Zap-A-Gap bottle that I was using didn't have its applicator nozzle. So I was kind of pouring glue onto the model and then pushing the magnets into the holes I had drilled. And then because I was pushing them in with the drill bit or with a hobby knife or other metallic object, I had to reach in with my thumb, which is not magnetic, to hold it in place while I removed the metallic item I had used as an applicator. And as a result, I got glue all over. You can still see it. It's all over my thumbnail. It's mostly come off of the front of my thumb. I spent a fun 24 hours or so, or 12 hours or so, not being able to get into my phone without typing in a code because it didn't recognize my thumbprint. If I was smart, which I think I have demonstrated multiple times I am not, I would I would add other fingers as means to unlock my phone. So that under those circumstances, where I have no thumbprint due to glue or whatever, I can still unlock my phone. Alright, so I'm looking for pieces 52, 53, 54, which are the remainder of his tail, the back of his tail. Let's get those. Yep, go. 54. One thing Be'lakor has a lot of are these bony spines, or these bony plates. You can see they're all here. He's obviously got a couple of big horns. I have to choose a good color scheme for those. What I'm trying to avoid with the majority of this model is going too bright with the colors. I'm going with like a greenish eldritch fire, which will be coming from his sword and from the cracks in the base. And that's going to be one of the brightest colors on the model. The remainder of it is going to be very dark, brooding. And the wings, I don't think I've talked about the scheme that I have for the wings, and I'm kind of nervous about it. But my scheme for the wings is that they are going to be a dusk-colored starry sky. So my goal, my vision, is that his wings look like a hole into a starry sky. As if he is like a gap in reality, and you can see the stars through him. And I'm going to carry that through to his face. His eyes and mouth are going to have a light bluish, fiery aspect to them, as if he's lit by stars within. But in order to make all of that work, the colors on everything else need to be sort of muted. So I can't do a lot of the traditional things that I've done on many models in the past, where I go with a Morghast bone for all the skulls, and a bright metallic for the chains, or a light brown for his horns, because I want all of that to be sort of muted and background so that the wings and the fire really pop, because they're going to be the focal point of the model. All right, let's see. This is 52, the bottom of the tail. This is 53, the middle. And this is 54, the top. And they just glue along the back like this. Do you think I have to do them in a particular order? I should probably start with one of the ends and work towards the other end. Oops. I just had this in place and it worked fine. There we go. overboard with the glue there. It's fine. Also glued some sprue bit onto him. Pretty good. Not as clean as I might have liked it to be. Oh well. That's fine. Just when I go to paint that, I have to try and not accentuate the lumpiness there where I got too much glue around the spine there. Bah! Alright, in this section here, like so. Try to go a little lighter on the glue. Bony tip to his tail there. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Good progress. We're getting there, chat. This is torso done-ish. You can see here's where the wings are going to go eventually. Alright, so we've got his tail. Next up, legs. So, the directions are a little confusing. I mean, it's not that hard to figure out. But you can see here, it instructs me at this stage, in step 5C, attach the legs to that torso bit that I just built. But then it says, oh, by the way, build the legs. So there's one leg, and the other one is a whole bunch of pieces. So it's going to take several steps to build his right leg, which is on our left. Let's start with this leg here because it's easier. So I need pieces 34, 33, 35, and 36. 33, 34, 35, and 36. That's 26. There's 34. He's got so many little claws. It's because he's got claws coming off of his wings as well as off of his feet. that was 34. Everything else must be on the other sprue. Yep, here's a bunch of little toesies. This is 33. And then 35 and 36. Go. So I'm going to want to do, because I've allotted myself an entire month to this project, I want to try and do some, like, texture to his skin. You can see he's got, he's very vascular. He's got sort of veins and stuff showing through here. And then he's got some great sort of texture to his skin here, and then like bony protuberances pointing through his flesh. I have to figure out how I'm going to paint all of that to really sell it. I figure if I have this amount of time available to me, I should be able to do some cool effects in that time. Vacuum when I'm done with all this. I have a couple of chores I have to undertake this week. I have a guest, Amanda and I have a guest coming next week who's going to be using this guest room. So I'm going to have to paint probably from the kitchen next week. But I have to get the guest room ready, which means finally putting the blinds up in the guest room, which we haven't done yet. And I'm going to have to clean up this painting nook here, which is going to be filled with these little sprue bits. So my hope is that I can actually finish this like a few days before ExtraLife so that I can display it in the store so that folks know what they're bidding for. I mean, obviously I'll be posting pictures as I go, but it's nice to be able to actually see the piece. Alright, so there's the bits of that leg. Let's assemble them. Pretty straightforward, I think. The thigh bit's attached to the thigh bit. The toe claws attaching to the toe bits. Too much glue, too much glue. It's fine. Go. There's my rasp. Sand this down around here. And then I lost track of which toe is which. Hopefully it'll be relatively apparent. I think this one goes on this side. Yep, that's right. There we go. Cool. That's one leg done. Now for the more complicated leg. It starts with parts 26 and 25. Not doing a great job with this sprue removal, chat. It's just an awkward angle, this particular one. It's sort of into the sculpt here. That'll do. Don't care much about this one. It's down at the bottom where he attaches to his base. All right. That. I do like when they have the sprue attachment in a place where glue is going to go over it or it's inside the model. It's more difficult when it's on the outside of the model and it's like on his knee or the inside of his leg. All right. This is going to go here, like so. Lovely. Cool. Okay. Next. How much do I care about this gap right here? It's not a very big gap, but there is a gap there. Hopefully the paint will fill it. Next, toes, 27 and 28. There they are. Sprue connections here are right on the ball of the foot where it's going to be touching the base anyways. All right, let's glue those on. Tiny dab of glue. Boop. Wrong side. Boop. A little more glue than was strictly necessary there. Okay. His toes attached there. Now, this is where this leg becomes interesting. He's got a armor plate attached to this leg. So first I need piece 29. Goes here. Excellent, okay. That's way too much glue. That's fine. And then I actually have to assemble the next piece of armor, which is piece 30, 31, and 32. This is an example of something that this model has in a couple different places, where pieces are glued to the backs of things with bits punched through holes. Here's piece 30. And here are 31 and 32. I can get it off here without losing it. There we go. So piece 30 is the armor plate itself. And you can see it's got holes in it. And then 31 and 32 are these little spiny bits that are actually going to poke through from the back. This happens in a couple other places on this model as well, because I've looked through the directions in preparation for starting today. So yeah, this is going to go... Let's see. Here? Yeah, there. Like that. Okay. I'll put a little glue on the inside of this. Punches through like this. There. Glue everywhere. I should have put the glue on the plate and not on the bony bit. I'll do that better for the next piece, which goes here. protuberances coming through the plate. And then we glue this here. I kind of mucked it up, but that's okay. Glue on this piece here, which should be smooth, and now is not. So that's going to be a challenge to paint. Hopefully I can fix that. We'll see. All right. So that's his two legs constructed. Now let's glue them to his torso. Hold that in place for a quick count of 10. Cool. No! No! It did not glue! Get back on there. Why didn't it take? It's coming together, folks. Definitely moving in the right direction. I'm upset by this glue muck up there. I'm just gonna have to paint it as if it's not messed up, which is gonna be a challenge. Oh well. But hey, it's got legs now. It's coming along. So next, turning the page. We have a choice to make. Do we want him pointing forward, or do we want him pointing down into the side? I thought about this, and I think the more dramatic pose is pointing forward. So we're going to do that. It's going to involve more things pointing through an armor plate, so we need 45, 46, 47. This is 47, just for reference. This is 46. Because it might be relevant which goes in which place. Okay. So, 46, 47, 45. So, if I'm reading this correctly, 46 goes on this side. 47 goes on that side. Come on. You can do it. Just... Did I? No. I got it backwards. 46 goes on this side. There we go. And 47 goes on this side. Go. Yeah, not perfect, but it'll do. And then for the arm, I need 43, 40, 42, 43, 44. Excuse me. probably not going to get to the wings today. Who knows? I should be able to complete assembly of the main body. I realize I get very quiet when I'm concentrating, and there's a lot of concentration involved in assembling this fella. And his little fingers. Try not to cut myself if I can avoid it. He's got a ring there. I have to remember to paint that. Why am I getting so much glue everywhere? And then the armor plate goes here. There we go. There, perfect. Okay. There's his arm. Now, his torso, his chest, piece. So, if his arm is pointing this way, it's piece 23. If if it's pointing the other way, it's part 48. So I need part 23. We're getting close here, chat. Got one more arm and his head to go. And we'll think about wings. This is actually a kind of cool detail right here. This is the strap that holds, or, you know, is intended to be holding on his right hand pauldron, the armor plate on his right side. And you can see that it's actually strapped into his flesh. It's got a piercing here, and it's wrapping through his flesh there. It's kind of cool. I think that's a cool detail. Okay. So what order should I do this in? The instructions merely say attach torso and arm. So if I put his torso on first, can I then attach his arm? Or do I want the arm attached first and then attach the torso? And how does this go on then? Like this? Not like that. Did I trim too much off there? May need a tiny amount of green stuff. Just in his armpit there. Let's put the torso on first. Glue on his abs. I'm looking forward to painting this sigil on his chest. I'm gonna get an itty bitty bit of green stuff. I think I might have trimmed slightly too much off in his armpit, and it doesn't fit quite right. Breaking my cardinal rule of green stuff, which is I don't have any water here to keep it from sticking to everything. Didn't think I was going to need water today. Covered in glue and now green stuff. Lovely. This is far messier than painting. Just a tiny wedge of green stuff. You go right here. And then I'll mold it a little bit once I've mushed the arm into place.
It's been a long year. I know you're tired and you're blue. You've been breathing smoke
Sticking to the model
inside
already.
this trial of fire, but you got through. And I know the world's gone wrong, but you're still present, you're still strong. Hold on. Through all your pain and all your tears, you're still resolute and you're still here. It's been a long year. It's been so heavy on your soul. And though your scars have hardened and have turned to
That worked pretty well, I think.
it took its toll. And I know the world's gone wrong, but you're still present, you're still strong. Hold on. Through all your pain,
It's like I know what I'm doing, chat.
you're still resolute and you're still here. It's been a long, long year. Oh, but you're still here. Ooh, it's been a long.
Cool. Okay. Arm attached. Next. His other arm, which is only 2 pieces. 37, 38. Don't like that. That's gonna be a mess. 37, 37. There we are. Right, just throw that on the floor. I need that piece. Excuse me a moment, chat. okay. All right. Here's his cool glowing sword. You can see all the flames coming off of it. Definitely a focal point of the model. You might have heard me exclaim as I was trimming this off of the sprue about something that was not going to be fun to play with. Let me show this to you, chat. This by his hand here, this gigantic wedge is where the sprue was attached. It's enormous. And it's right on his hand, so I don't want to fuck his hand up. Pardon my French. I'm just trying to trim it down in smaller increments to get it flush with the hand. Now trimming his fingers if possible. This is the most challenging part of this so far. Dad blast it. I don't want to trim too much. I also don't want to leave an unsightly lump on his hand. Delicate balance. Think that's done it? I'm not a sculptor, chat. I think that's done. It'll look better with paint on. Okay. Now, here's a question. Do I actually glue this arm onto him, or do I paint it separate and attach it later? Might be advantageous to be able to reach some of these inner surfaces before I glue it all together. Let's see. Once attached, it's going to go here, like this, right? Can I still reach all of this inside with a brush? Let's imagine that this is a brush. Yeah, that's doable. I don't think there's a downside to gluing it on. I mean, yes, it might be easier, but part of what I'm going to be doing is a lot of light sourcing, and it's going to be handy to know for context where things are supposed to be joined. I suppose I can just hold it up to the model. I think it's doable. It's not like it's right up next to his leg. There's space enough in there for me to get in and paint. So I think I'm fine if I glue it on. I need to build another... Well, let's glue it on, and then I have another plate to build. So I need pieces 39, 40, and 41. We're getting close, chat. I'm not going to finish the wings today, but I think I'm probably going to finish assembling the main body. Okay, chat, for reference, this is 40 on the left here. $41 on the right. trimmed my thumbnail a little bit there. So, looking at it from the inside, 40 goes on the right, 41 on the left. Experiencing stubby finger syndrome here. Tweezers. Yeah, got it. Okay. Good enough. I hope. Hope I did that right. I think so. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. And then this goes on his shoulder there. Coming together. Beginning to look like a demon. I think I have time to do his head and horns. And then I'll take him to work today and prime him. And tomorrow we'll work on the wings and perhaps get started painting. Alright, so choice time. There are 3 different faces that I can make for him. I can have him with a closed mouth, an open mouth, or an open mouth with a long-ass Gene Simmons tongue. I think I'm going to go with the tongue, because it gives me some fun stuff to paint. And then we glue his horns, it's all a single piece, onto his head, and then we glue his head onto his body. Alright. So I need 58 and 59 for the long tongue. we are. $58. 59 is going to be quite a small piece. Give me a moment to find it. Would have expected it to be near to 58 on the sprue, but no, of course not. There's 57, which is the small tongue. Maybe it's on the other sprue. No. All that's left on the other sprue are the wings and the hand that I didn't use. And the gun that I didn't use. Alright. It's gotta be on here somewhere. And we need 55 at some point. That's his horns. So I might as well clip that off now. There. His crown of horns. Ah, found it. 59. Yeah, I'll do wings tomorrow and maybe start applying paint to the base. This is exciting, chat. We're making good progress. There's its tongue. There's its face. This is being tough here. I don't want to hold his face too tight and mangle it. I want to keep all the nice, sharp, clear details on the face that I can. And of course, my fingers are covered in green stuff and glue and okay. So, tongue in mouth is the most delicate application of glue, I think, to his lower jaw. Get this to work. Too much. Too much glue. Okay. And then, as with the, there's actually texture to his tongue. Oh, it's so cool, chat. Come on, there we go. Did I put it in upside down? girlfriend now. Okay. Crown of Horns. Almost there. Only the last bit that I trimmed today. Okay. Oop. Okay. Glue the horns onto his head. Without getting glue in his eyes, if at all possible. Good. Okay. And then glue this onto his neck. Alright, so there's a couple little things I'm going to want to address. I'm not happy with this seam right here. So maybe I can fill that in a little bit before priming him. overall, it's pretty good. Bit of a seam right here on his hip that I want to address if I can. Yeah, just a couple little things I want to address. Just, if I'm auctioning this off, I want it to be as cool as it can be. And I want to eliminate any blemishes that I can. If it was just for me, I'd probably be satisfied. But I want to try and eliminate some of the blemishes before I prime him. So I'll work on that this afternoon, probably before going into work. But he is pretty much done. Oh, all right. Yeah, that's a thing. So I think that was a productive stream. I think we got good progress made. This guy is going to be a lot of fun to paint. So tomorrow, we'll get his wings constructed, and we'll probably start putting a little paint on the base. Until then, thank you so much for joining me. I hope everybody is looking forward to seeing this in its painted form as much as I am. Amanda will be on tonight at 10 p.m. over at twitch.tv/MerrimanLion to read some more from Terry Pratchett's Jingo, which is what she's reading right now. And in the meantime, 31 days, chat. 31 days until ExtraLife. It's coming up fast. Be excellent to each other and enjoy whatever art it is you choose to do. I'll see you again tomorrow morning for Bellacor's Wings. Bye, everybody.